Hello, I'm Tai. Today, the key part is I want to show you how to DIY your registration questionnaire to send to tax office. As I mentioned before in the last episode, if you want to register your freelance or sole proprietorship company, you need to file the form either on Elster online, or you can write it the form, print it out, and send a letter to the tax office, which is responsible for your location. So you can get this form either from an official website. For example, I locate in Bavaria. I can go to the Bayern Finanzamt official website and to track the relevant questionnaire. Or you can have access to online Elster. Then you can go to the form function of the Elster platform, find the formula that you need to fill. Either way could be okay. With online Elster, you can send the form electronically to your responsible tax office, and it will speed up the processing. So let's first clarify is Steuernummer, tax number, would only be released by tax office after you fill out this form as a new business owner. But the typical Steueridentifikationsnummer, personal tax identification ID, that you should already have it. Normally, after you register your address in Germany, the tax office will send you a letter stating that, okay, you pay tax in Germany with this personal tax number. So this number, this tax ID, you should prepare before filling out this questionnaire. Another question to clarify is which local tax office is responsible for processing. You should choose the tax office where your business address is based in. For example, if you're a freelancer, you register your home as your business address, then you go to this you can see the tax office search link, then find the state and the city name where your address is in, and fill out the responding form. And you can find the corresponding tax office name and address. That's what we need to fill the form in advance. So let's move to the key part. Here I will show you hand by hand how to fill out the questionnaire. First, we come to the regular occupation, ausgeübter Beruf. Here you enter your current occupation. Consider your business target. For example, if you are a personal development coach, you better write your regular occupation as consultant or coach. If you're you want to start a software programmer business, better write yourself regular occupation, IT programmer, IT engineer, etc. Religion, Religion. Select the appropriate termination if you belong to a religious community that collects church tax. Otherwise, the entries other or not subject to church tax are available in this list selection. Sonstiger means other, and nicht kirchensteuerpflichtig, not subject to church tax, you can find in these options. So the next point is Postanschrift, mailing address. Here you enter your current postal address. If you currently have more than one place of residence, you will be asked to provide details of all places of residence. Additional documents must be submitted later. The main residence is the center of your virtual interest. For example, your family residence must be entered at your address. In our cases, most of us, although as expats living in Germany, we are a German tax residents. And if you have family members also in Germany, your address is definitely your primary tax resident address. Next point is Lebenspartner, in English, life partner. Information on the life partner is only to be provided in case of registered civil partnerships according to the Civil Partnership Act, which means if you are officially legally married, then your life partner should be your another spouse. Or if you are a registered partnership, you can also enter the registered life partnership information here. If you live with a partner together but you are not registered, you are based on the tax term also single, then you should enter single status. The next point, we move to Familienstand. It's marital status, a permanent separation. Here you say, okay, you are married or not. A permanent separation in German perspective does not exist if the spouse or registered life partner only temporarily. For example, in case of an external professional activity, to not live together. That means, okay, if in legal term you are married or single, that's only both the cases, even actually you separate, but it doesn't count to this marital status. So if here is Abweichende Postanschrift is a different postal address. Normally, it doesn't apply to most cases. If your spouse or registered partner live another place which differ from your address, you enter the address of the spouse or registered partner. Bankverbindung, bank details is very important. Payment transactions with the tax office are cashless. Tax refunds with IBAN are possible within the single euro payment area, which includes all EU and EEA countries, as well as other small countries and Switzerland. So please enter your IBAN and the account holder. You can find your IBAN, for example, on the bank statement of your account-keeping bank. For tax refunds is SEPA payments to countries outside the EU or EEA area. The BIC must also be entered. In the case of other bank accounts outside the European payment area, SEPA, the required information must be provided separately in writing to the tax office. If your bank details change in the future, please inform your tax office immediately in writing. You can obtain the official assignment form for the notification of the assignment of the tax refund or a tax refund claim to third parties from the tax office. Please note the special information on this form. The next point to check is the Gültigkeit einer Bankverbindung, means the validity of a bank account. You have following options for refunding taxes. First option is provide a bank account for all tax refunds. The second option is the specification of a separate bank account for the reimbursement of personal taxes, for example, income tax, and the specification of a further bank account for the reimbursement of operating taxes, for example, sales tax, wage tax, etc. Here is for example, but as a freelancer, normally you have at the beginning you enter your personal account details for all the tax declaration and claim with the tax office, but later after you open a business bank account, you can change the account details to business bank account. Then you can change this option too. For example, if you want all your business relevant tax to be reimbursed by the tax office to the business account, then you can click this option too. And for personal tax, is want to be reimbursed by another private account, then you can also give both details of both accounts. So, SEPA-Lastschrittverfahren soll erfolgen. I recommend to click this. This means you authorize the tax office to use SEPA direct debit to enter any transaction. Here, please submit the declaration of participation in the SEPA direct debit procedure. This SEPA direct debit procedure is the easiest way for both parties to process payment transactions on time. In this way, you prevent, for example, due dates for taxes from being forgotten and resulting in late payment surcharges. If you would like to participate in the SEPA direct debit procedure, please fill out the relevant form, sign it, and send it to the tax office. You can get the form from your tax office or, if necessary, from www.finanzamt.de. Click on your state in the map, tax offices. On the tax office website, under forms, you will find the SEPA mandate form for printing. So we move to next point, Empfangsvollmacht. This means if you appoint a power of attorney to receive letters for you, you have the option of naming a third party, for example, your tax advisor, as an authorized recipient. Please note that the relevant information can only be taken into account by your tax office if a corresponding authorization has been submitted. Next point is Art des ausgeübten Gewerbesteuer oder der Tätigkeit, type of applied industry or occupation. Please briefly describe the type and scope of the trade or activity you carry out. If necessary, the key points of your activity field is to be indicated. For example, trade in some goods for connecting something, or if you have a bakery, trade in bakery products, bread, baked goods, or you trade in building materials without a focus, or you're a personal development culture, or company consultant, you write, okay, management consulting, or if you are an IT expert, you write your key fields of programming, web development, etc. Then we move to information on commercial, self-employed, freelance, or agricultural or forestry activity. Here we enter the name of your company. For example, as a natural person, you must always state the full name of you at the beginning. Then you can combine some keywords for other business to recognize you. For example, you are Thomas Müller for coaching, or you have a snack bar. Snack bar organ Inhaber means owner, max name, surname, or it's Friedrich Deutsch translations, or even a little bit fantasy name means something like jewel, blah blah blah, owner, XX. So we move to the next point. Beginn der Tätigkeit, start of activity. Here, please enter the date on which your company or started working. Preparatory actions such as renting a shop or purchasing goods before the official store opening are already part of the entrepreneurial activity. Therefore, the start of the activity can already be before the day of the business registration. In the case of a startup, please enter the date on which the business activity began. In the event of a relocation, please enter the original day on which the activity began. In the case of conversion, please enter the day from which the company actually appears as a sole proprietorship in the external relationship. Next one, we move to the place of management, Ort der Geschäftsleitung. Here you enter the address of the management if this differs from the address of the company. The place of management is the place where the entrepreneur is informed. So normally, if you don't have many structures in your company, you can ignore this because you only have one postal address, one official business address at the beginning to found your business, right? Next point, we've moved to Betriebsstätten in anderen Gemeinden, establishments in other municipalities. If there are permanent establishments in several municipalities, please give the addresses and telephone numbers of all permanent establishments. A permanent establishment is a fixed business facility or facility that serves the activity of a company. For example, a place of management, a branch, a manufacturing and workshops, warehouse, purchasing and sales points in other places. That means if you are a franchise business or you have branches of the new existing business, you should state different addresses for different branches, but that's for very serious entrepreneur. It's not for us as beginners. So